Hi, fifth graders. Welcome back for another day of geometry. So today we are going to learn about nets. So we are going to recognize and draw nets for three-dimensional figures. Our 3D shapes are solid figures. So before we do that, we have two more solid figures we need to go over. The first one is a cylinder. A cylinder is a solid figure with two circular bases that are parallel and congruent. Remember, that means they are the same size and the same shape, and they are joined by a curved surface. So I'm going to show you that really quick. I have a cylinder right here. So this is a cylinder. It's got a circle for the bases, and it's joined by a curved shape. We're going to look at the net of this in just a moment. Then we also have a sphere. Oh, we have three more. I forgot about this one. We have a sphere. A sphere is a solid figure with a smooth, curved surface, no edges, and no vertices. So this is a sphere. It's a ball. That's what a sphere is. A soccer ball, a basketball. No vertices, just a curved surface, no edges. And then we have the last shape we need to learn about, the cone. A cone is a solid figure with a circular base, a curved surface, and one vertex. So here we have a cone. It looks like an ice cream cone. This is the circular base, one vertex right at the top, and a curved surface. So now that we know about those, we're going to talk about nets of all the shapes we've learned about. The cone and the cylinder that we just talked about, as well as all of the prisms from Monday and the pyramids from Tuesday. So a net is when you unfold the shape and you see all of the 2D shapes it takes to make that 3D shape. So for example, we have a cylinder. Here's my cylinder. That's what a cylinder looks like. And if I were to open the cylinder up and unfold it, we are going to see that it's going to have two circular bases and then one long rectangle that's wrapped around to make that curved surface. So you're going to notice on the one that I'm holding, the two circles are on the end, but in the picture right here, they're in the middle. The circles can be in the end or the middle or opposite ends. The only thing they need to make sure is that the two circles are on the long side of the rectangle, because the rectangle has to be long enough to wrap around so that it covers both the circular bases. So this is what the net of cylinder looks like. Two circular bases and one long rectangle that wraps around them. Then we have the cone that we just talked about. So the cone, remember, has a circular base. So I'm going to see that circle right here. And then if I unfold this, I'm going to need another surface that would wrap around that circle. So it looks like this. You can see it in the picture too. A semicircle, and then our circular base to wrap around. So then we have this shape. So sometimes we might see a shape and say, what does that net look like, and what do we call that shape? Well, this is all squares, right? A prism that has all squares is a cube. Here I can see all of those squares, and remember, a cube has 6 squares that make it. So we have 6 squares here to make that cube. Again, you're going to notice the two that are on the end on mine are in a different place in the picture. It's got to have 4 that wrap around, and then one on the top and one on the bottom, that it can be in different parts on our shape. And it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares to make that. That'll fold up. So we need all of the shapes that make the faces of our 3D solid figure. A rectangular prism then, this is our rectangular prism. It's also going to need to have 6 2D shapes to make it, but they're going to be a little bit different because some of them are going to be rectangles. And in fact, in this one, they're all going to be rectangles because it's a prism and it's a rectangular prism. So it's going to have our 2 rectangles for bases and then our 4 rectangles that wrap around to make it a prism. So this is what this one looks like. If I unfold it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles, and then our 2 rectangles that make up the bases to make the rectangular prism. Then I might see just the net first and have to think to myself, what 3D shape does that make? Well, it has 2 bases, which are triangles, and those triangles are connected by rectangles. Shapes that have 2 bases and are connected by rectangles are prisms. So I know this is a prism, and then I know it's a triangular prism because my 2 bases are triangles. So there you can see a picture of it, and I also have one right here. Our 2 triangular bases connected by rectangles. So it is a triangular prism. And you can see I have that now right here too. So here it is, 3D. And then I can unroll it, and it looks just like the net that you see in the picture. So again, I know it's got 5 bases because it's got the 2 triangles and the 3 rectangles. And then I see this one and I might think, how many bases does it have? 2. And those bases are connected by rectangles. That tells me it is a prism because it's got 2 bases connected by rectangles. And then I look at the shape of the bases to tell me what kind of prism is it. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a pentagon. That means it's a pentagonal prism. And this is what the net looks like. A hexagonal prism. Well, a hexagon has 6 sides. So I'm going to see my base has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And those 2 bases, because it's a prism, are going to be connected by rectangles. So if I wanted to draw that, it would look like this. 2 hexagons connected by rectangles. And then I look at this one and I might think, okay, what shape is that? Well, it's got triangles around the side. It only has 1 base, and it's connected by 1 common vertex at the top. That must be a triangular pyramid, which I have right here. If I take my triangular pyramid and I try to make a net of it, I'm going to know that each of the 2D shapes to make it is going to have to be a triangle because it's a pyramid, and triangles make the faces around the side of a pyramid, and it's a triangular pyramid, so my base is a triangle too. So it is a triangular pyramid, and when I unwrap this one, it looks just like the picture. The base triangle, and then the 3 triangles on the side would come up to make our pyramid. This is the net. So what about this one? I only see 1 base right here, and then I see triangles around the outside. Well, when the 2D shapes have 1 base and then a lot of triangles, that means it's a pyramid because these triangles are all going to come up together to make our common vertex. So this one is a square pyramid. It's got the square at the bottom, and those triangles are going to fold up to make my common vertex. So again, you can see right here, the square and the triangles. Then we could have a pentagonal pyramid. I know this is a pentagonal pyramid because I see a pentagon down here with 5 sides and 1 common vertex connected by triangles. So if I look at the net, I'm going to see 1 base that is a pentagon surrounded by triangles because it's a pyramid. I can see that with a hexagonal triangle too, or a hexagonal pyramid too. A hexagon in the middle, surrounded by triangles that are going to meet at a common vertex. So when I only see 1 base and lots of triangles, I know it's a pyramid, and then I just have to look at the base to tell me what kind of pyramid it is. Because it's a hexagonal pyramid. The last one we're going to do has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. So that's an octagon. I could see my octagon in the middle right here, surrounded by triangles, making this an octagonal pyramid. So now I'm going to show you how you're going to use what we just talked about to do your slides today. So you're going to have slides where it says drag the star to the net that would make the three-dimensional shape. So on the left side, you're going to see a 3D shape, a solid figure, and you just need to drag the star underneath the correct net that's going to make that shape. So what you're going to do is look at all of the faces here and pick the net that has the same faces as your solid figure. So you're going to have all of the problems I just went through, and then you're going to have problems like this. This one I'm showing you, you're not going to have to do. I'm going to do this one as an example so that you can see what you need to do. So when I look at this, I can see that it's a pyramid, and I can look at my base and figure out what kind of pyramid it is. I'm going to put all my shapes here to make sure that I know their right name. It says drag all the shapes you will need from the bottom to create the faces of the solid figure shown. Okay, so I'm going to look at the base, and I'm going to see what shape it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 8 sides, so it is an octagon. So I'm going to bring an octagon up here. And I know that if I'm doing a pyramid that's an octagon, I'm going to need my base, and then I'm going to need 8 triangles that would go around the side to make the triangles up to the common vertex. So I would bring 8 triangles up here because it says drag all the shapes you need to make the solid figure. So I'm dragging 1 octagon and 8 triangles. Oops, that's too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know this is an octagonal pyramid. The bonus says create a net for the solid figure. The reason that's bonus is because it's kind of tricky. If you want to create a net here, a lot of the shapes are going to have to be turned. So this one I could just put right here. But then this triangle, when I bring it over here, I would need to turn it to make it fit and then remove it. They don't have to be perfect, but it would take some extra bonus work to do that. So you do not have to do that. But I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to do it really quick to show you what it would look like. So this is what it's going to look like if you do the bonus. You would drag them so that when you actually were, if you were to fold those shapes together, it would make the shape. Remember, this is bonus. All you actually need to do for the credit on this is name the shape and also bring all of the sides that would make the faces of the solid figure. So you're going to see that you have ones that look like this. So you're going to look at the shape and say, look at the solid figure, what 2D shapes and how many of them do you need to make it? You'll drag them up here and then name your solid figure. So you have to do those. And then you have questions that you're going to use multiple choice to answer. So you'll drag your circle to the correct answer. And you don't have any short answer. That's it for today. And then submit your slides on Schoology when you're done.